take 4 people to pick it up. I think that's why. Nice stuff to join us now from NFL Network, the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank, NFL fantasy analyst, the one and the only Adam Rank. And Adam, I apologize for mentioning a giant cockroach before bringing you on. That's on me. My apologies, sir.
No, it's fine. I love it. There's nothing better than doing like an open mic or something and have the MC call for a moment of silence or bringing the energy out of the room. This is exactly what you want. You want to walk in to stunned silence. Somebody's already listening to this and is like, I'm going to put on a CD. Whatever. I'm going to go back to listening to Living Color. Thank you for that. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, you got it. Certainly deserve better. Are you a Brock believer or a Purdy pessimist, sir?
I'm a Brock believer.
Yeah,
the reigning undisputed. I called this last year when they beat Tom Brady. I said I haven't seen a Brock beat an old man that bad since Brock Lesnar in WrestleMania 30. So I was really impressed with the way he's conducted himself, and it was kind of interesting because it is. I don't know if you could consider it a passing of the torch moment, but it really did seem that way because as much as everybody sits here and bemoans the fact that a lot of these first-round quarterbacks are not working out. Justin Fields is in the news. Zach Wilson is in the news. And then here's Mr. Irrelevant coming out there and killing it. And I think that this is just what happens when players with some talent who fall through the system somehow go to the right organization that can really groom them as a quarterback. I mean, when Tom Brady did it, he went to a team that had Drew Bledsoe, a great defense, great coach. And for the first couple of years, he was just a guy. Like he was a quarterback. He was good. Like you could tell. Like he had some skills. He had some moxie. He did rally them when he needed to. But ultimately, those defenses were carrying him early on before he eventually became Tom Brady. And I think we're seeing a very similar type of situation unfolding here with Brock Purdy. With obviously he's protected a little bit with a great defense and a plethora of weapons around him, but when he needs to make plays like the dime he threw to Debo, I thought that was a statement by Kyle Shanahan. Like, okay, like I know you're at 254 and a touch right here. Go throw a touchdown and let's shut everybody up and let's go get ready for week 4.
Yeah. Adam, I'm sorry to bring this up, but I know you've talked about this a million times. In 2019, you predicted a 3-13 record. It became a meme.
18. It was 18. It's been so long. I love that everybody.
I know.
Go back that far to find out the last time I was wrong. I feel great about this.
No. I want to talk about this because you've become a cult hero here in Northern California. Now, I don't think you realize that. Do you realize that ever since you predicted the 3-13 record in 2019, the Niners went to the Super Bowl? I just want to give you some kudos because you owned up to it. You came on all the stations in the Bay Area and in Northern California on TV, and now you're almost like an icon. Now, when I told my friends today that you're coming on and I was interviewing Adam Rank, they're like, no way, you got Adam Rank?
How about that?
This is awesome. So you got some pop here. You got some pop.
3-13 guy. You know what? Yeah, it is. It is. It's kind of like when Stone Cold Steve Austin dropped the Austin 316, like rank 3-13. I don't know. Maybe that should be a T-shirt that we should make and sell to people. You know what? When things like that happen, you just got to kind of own up to it. And you're like, okay. And, obviously that one really missed the boat. That 49ers team was excellent, and they've been excellent ever since. But, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I love consuming sports media as well as anybody else. And it's like when people just try to make excuses, I just don't like, I was wrong. Like, yeah, I could not be more wrong. You captured it on film. George Kittle has thrown that in my face before. Like he posted that. We were in a discussion about fries, and I'm like, curly fries are the worst. And he follows me on Twitter. We're big wrestling fans. And he goes, hey, he's like, you've never been more wrong since this. Oh my God. I'll play it. There's nothing you can do with it. It's the closest to being stiff-armed by George Kittle I hope to ever come. But yeah, it's just one of those things. You got to wear it though. What are you going to do?
Well, that's where it started. I mean, the run of success for Kyle Shanahan, of course, and he was just announced today. He and Lynch are getting extensions from the front office. And there have been some bumps along the road, and they still haven't won the Super Bowl. But here they are, 3-0 right now. What has impressed you the most about the 49ers under Kyle Shanahan since that prediction of yours went sideways?
It is. I'm glad to see that they're both working it out. I was concerned that one of them was going to go, either John Lynch was going to jump to Tampa Bay or something like that. But this is a great tandem, and they work together really well. And the one thing that I believe is just a testament to the organization is the depth of roster building. I mean, not even like missing on a quarterback and not having it shake you to your foundation because you found Brock Purdy, but even things like trading away DeForest Buckner. You've given away a lot of draft capital for not only Trey Lance, who didn't work out, but also Christian McCaffrey. Still doesn't matter. This team is as great as ever without having to get those picks. And so anytime that if you root for a team that has a lot of draft capital, and actually they have the most draft capital or most salary cap space of anybody. Like it's so wild. And if you're one of these, if you're somebody who roots for a team who is continually looking for a quarterback, who's trying to find the magic sauce or do whatever, you're like, I don't know if it's ever going to change. I mean, you might as well just start rooting for the 49ers because they're not going away. And it's disheartening for the rest of the league, but it should be, celebrated for the 49er fans. Now, eventually you would want to win the Super Bowl. I think that anybody who's old enough to remember the 49ers run, although we're getting to a point like people don't remember that anymore.
Yeah.
Like Full House used to be that was a show in the 90s. That was not a reboot. You really need to cash this in at some point. It's like having the Money in the Bank. I know this will be the last wrestling reference, but it's like having the Money in the Bank briefcase. At some point, you got to cash it in. You just can't show up every week like, okay, 49ers, we see it. You're really good. You got to make that next step, and that's a level of excellence that a previous regime has started that you got to go out and get after.
So, Adam, where do you have them though in the NFL? Are they the number one tandem right now with head coach and GM, or do you think maybe the Kansas City Chiefs have something better? Where do Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch really just stand in the NFL? Where would you rank them?
Yeah, the three best organizations right now: Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers. I would put the 49ers in the middle. I think the Chiefs, you got to give it to the Chiefs because they've won 2 out of the last 4 Super Bowls, been in 3 of the last 4. So they deserve a little bit of deference and respect for what they've been able to do. And Andy Reid is he's one of the guys, like he's there. I mean, Bill Belichick's still very good as well, but really there's nobody better than the Chiefs right now. The 49ers are knocking on the door. And if Jimmy Garoppolo had hit Emmanuel Sanders, perhaps we would be having a different conversation at this moment. But at the same time, the 49ers are going to have sustained success. Like that's just something I can count on. The Chiefs are going to be around for a long time. The Philadelphia Eagles, who lost all their coordinators and they've lost, some key pieces, but they're still very good. So I think those organizations are the top of the card. Those are the big 3 right now. And I have the 49ers right there in the middle.
Adam Rank is our guest from NFL Network and the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank. Listen, I still feel badly that I brought you on right after talking about the giant dead cockroach. So,
I want to tweet out a photo of it. I want to see it now.
We got to name it.
How big this thing is.
Yeah, we got to name it. But I wanted to try to make it up to you by congratulating you on hopefully I have this right, the 45 rarity score that you posted on the Football Immaculate Grid. Was that yesterday, right?
Was that good? I don't know.
Oh, you posted it, so I assumed you were pretty proud of it.
I just did it. And so because you can send it to a friend. My friend's like, tweet that. And we said, okay. And we were going through it. I guess it was a day removed, so we can go back and talk about this. Because you want rarer guys. And I'm shocked that you needed to select a Colts Pro Bowler. And so obviously you don't want to go with like Marvin Harrison or Peyton Manning or anybody like that. Johnny Unitas, like everybody knows who those guys are. And then I right when I typed in Pat McAfee, I was a little concerned, like, oh, Pat McAfee's as popular as Peyton Manning. Like that, wow. This is going to be dumb. But he was at 2%.
Wow.
2%.
Nice.
How is that possible?
I'm surprised.
Very good score.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to cost me, but it didn't. And then also knowing who Cleo Lemon was is a real big bonus. Like people forget Randall Cunningham played for the Vikings.
Right.
It was one of those ones. It was a Slumdog Millionaire sort of situation where I weirdly know a lot of things about the Jags and the Vikings for whatever reason.
Well done.
Well, Adam, I got a question for you, and this one's going to be a tough one. I know you're a Bears fan, and I know you're an Angels fan.
Let's talk about Arsenal. Okay, you're fine.
Is it tougher being a Bears fan or is it tougher being an Angels fan right now? Because I feel for both, and I'm watching both just because I love the drama so much.
It's more difficult being a Angels fan because I take, well, up until the last 2 weeks, I take every loss like seriously. Like I really bums me. It really does affect my mood. It's like most people can shake off baseball because there's so many games. But for me, and a lot of people can't get over football losses. It's the opposite for me. Like football, like the Bears lose, I'm like, oh, I'm bummed. I'm like, okay, how's my fantasy team doing? With baseball, like it's a big thing. My kids love the Angels. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, a girl and a boy. The girl's older. They both love baseball. We have a thing in our house. We have this like the ceiling fan, and we have it. There's a red light around it, so we light it up, like lighting up the halo when the Angels win.
Wow.
So the kids get really bummed when we can't. We haven't been lighting it up a lot lately. So it's a huge bummer, and it's just like I don't know. And now it's to the point of like, and it's just like everybody hates the Angels. Like people just hate this team. I understand why you guys hate the Angels. You shouldn't, but you do, and that's fine. But at the same time, like people just really hate the Angels and want to make fun of us. Like, why? What did we do? Like we're just out here in Orange County doing our thing. We're just trying to play baseball. But people love doing the Angel, like the tungsten arm Odell and all that other stuff. So it is a brutal existence to be an Angels fan.
Wow. Well, I'll always be a Frank Shanahan fan for what that's worth. Adam Rank, NFL Network, Sick Podcast with Adam Rank. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. Best of luck with your fantasy teams this weekend.
Thank you so much. Same to you. Thanks for having on at FP. Appreciate you reaching out to me as well.
No problem. Love having you on, and I just love your content, man. So keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
You're too kind. Thank you so much. No, thank you.
Adam Rank, and he requested it, so we are going to have to get a picture of the cockroach.
I'll send it to him. Why not? And we should probably tweet it out there. Just tweet
we
it
need
on the
to name
account.
it. We need to come up with a name for it.
Oh, no.
We'll see if we can get that for you. If we can fit it into the frame. This thing is enormous. It's the size of a Volkswagen minivan. Coming up next, let's see here. 3 of the most significant numbers from last night were 12, 85%, and 0. Tell you why those were so significant when we come right back. FB Junior and Whitey on Sactown Sports.